And we return to Book 16 of Homer's epic poem, the Iliad, where, spoiler alerts, Patroclus fights and dies. Now, if you have yet to catch up to this point, or have just stumbled across this video, down in the description below is a playlist where you can listen to and watch all of the Iliad as it is being recorded. But, without further ado and no more stalling, we begin with Book 16, where Patroclus returns to Achilles to give his report on how badly the battle is going for the Achaeans. Now, Achilles is still human. Despite him being uncaring within the battle, he's still concerned with how close the Trojans are from his ships, but he does not wish to get involved in the battle directly. So, he ends up coming up with a compromise and agrees to give his armor and fresh troops to Patroclus, but he only gives permission to push the Trojans back from the ships. He even goes as far to warn Patroclus that do not chase the Trojans to the city, as that glory is not yours to take, but that it is his and his alone. Now, this is a warning less of a prideful statement, since, yes, it is prideful, but at the same time, Patroclus is not fated to bring Troy to its knees, with the gods putting everything into play here. Achilles partially knows this, but he doesn't know that this is going to kill Patroclus. He knows that it's his glory to take down Troy based off of what his mother has set up for him. Agamemnon needs to beg for him to come back. It's not up to Patroclus to usurp all of this. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way, as we're about to find out. Now, back on the battlefield, the Trojans have successfully managed to set a single ship ablaze. And as they move on to the next ship to continue their destruction, Patroclus begins to equip Achilles' armor and goes out to rally his troops for war, with Achilles actually going out to inspire all of them with an inspiring speech. He even places the blame on himself for stealing all of their glory this whole time, but he bids them all not to harbor ill will towards him for it, and to strike at the Trojans' heart directly today. And with that speech done, Patroclus and fresh Meridian troops sally forth from Achilles' camp to smash into the exhausted Trojan lines, effectively swinging the tides of battle for the final time. And with the entrance of fresh and eager troops, Hector and the Trojans, having been exhausted for fighting all day, break into a rout at the mere sight of Achilles' armor, mistaking the man for Achilles himself. And it is here that Patroclus does not listen to Achilles, and it ends up backfiring hard on him. But before then, he still has his day of glory. Patroclus is riding in Achilles' immortal chariot, begins slaughtering Trojans by the dozen. As he keeps cutting down the Trojans, one man turns to face him in a bold attempt to stop his rampage. That man is Sarpedon. Sarpedon is a special man because he's actually Zeus's son. Now, he challenges Patroclus to a duel, one-on-one, in quite a witty way to save his fellow Trojans. Now, even though he's Zeus's son, this makes Zeus conflicted on what he needs to do. On one hand, he needs to give Patroclus his glory and meet his demise at the hands of Hector. But to do so would put his own son to death right here and right now. Now, he does not wish to send his son to an early and gloryless death, which is what this is going to be. Hera actually steps in and once again convinces Zeus to go to her side, of saying that Zeus should save his son. But if he does so, every god would then wish to follow this precedent and wish to save their sons. Zeus weeps and leaves his son to his grisly fate. But he does decide to glorify Sarpedon by sending his corpse back to his native home. And with that, Sarpedon's death is assured, and there's nothing that can be done for him. Patroclus kills him, and then sets his eyes upon Hector, and returns to pursuing the men back to the walls of Troy, as the Achaeans strip Sarpedon's corpse clean. And it is here that Zeus clouds Patroclus' mind with delusions of grandeur, and as a result, he forgets Achilles' orders and warnings, and continues to pursue Hector to the very walls of Troy, but is unable to kill the man despite leaving a trail of corpses behind him. Now Patroclus does finally catch up to Hector, and thrusts his spear into Hector's chest, but Apollo swoops in and deflects it away from Hector and into the charioteer's chest, killing the man almost instantaneously. Apollo then swoops around behind Patroclus' chariot and strikes him in the back, knocking him from his chariot and shattering the straps holding his armor together. His weapon loosened from his grip, Patroclus is naked and easy prey upon the battlefield, allowing Hector an easy kill. And Patroclus' death is very inglorious here, as he's dying naked in the field and by an unnamed Trojan, as he just runs up and stabs him in the back with a spear, sending him to the ground, dying. And as Hector dismounts his chariot and marches towards him, he recognizes him and wonders what in the world possessed him to strike at the better man before spearing Patroclus in the gut. And as Patroclus dies, he warns Hector of his impending doom that Achilles will bring him. And with that, the bloody book of chapter 16 of Homer's epic poem, the Iliad, comes to a close. Now, if you're enjoying this, don't hesitate to give it a like, subscribe, and leave me a comment and letting me know what I can do to improve. But if you really enjoyed it and would like a copy of the Iliad and the Odyssey, there's a cheap leather-bound edition down in the description below where you can pick up a public domain translation by Samuel Butler down in the description below. And with that, I will look forward to hearing back from all of you and seeing you next time. Take care, everyone.